Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. UAE property market to see steady growth by the end of the year. New medical center raises over $1 billion for healthcare expansion. And we take a look at some of the finance discussions taking place in Davos. The GCC markets ended lower today, and the UAE bourses also ended down as a result of ongoing unrest in Egypt, where many of the region's leading companies do business. The DFM lost 4.3% to close at 1,543 points. In the property sector, posted losses as well, as Emaar Properties fell 8.25%, and Arab Tech dropped 6.75%. Dubai Islamic Bank fell 2.25%, and Emirates MBD lost 2.75%. DO fell nearly 2%. DP World lost 9.25%. 269 million shares were traded, valued at 389 million dirhams. And over in the capital, the ADX lost by nearly 3.75% to close at 2,561 points. Alder Properties fell over 8.75%, while Suru Real Estate lost nearly 7.75%. Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank dropped 4.25%, while Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank lost nearly 4.5%. In the energy sector, TAQA fell 7.5%, while Dana Gas lost nearly 10%. Etisalat dropped 2.75%. 109 million shares were traded, valued at 157 million dirhams. It's time now to take a look at the GCC markets, which ended lower today. Coming up now, let's take a look at various currencies exchanged into dirhams, followed by the price of oil, precious metals, and a selection of commodities. And now to our top stories. The UAE's property sector will start to show signs of recovery by the end of the year. That's according to the Minister of Economy, Sultan Al Manzouri. Speaking to a local newspaper, the minister said the market will begin to show positive signs of steady growth and that the worst is over. This comes after property experts had forecast a 10% decline for Dubai's property sector over the next 2 years. Al-Manzouri stated that many issues that had arisen last year have now been resolved as there's better organization in the market. And carrying on with the property sector, we are now joined by the CEO of Landmark Properties, Charles Neal. Hi Neal, good to have you on the show. 25,000 new houses and flats are said to come onto the market here in Dubai this year, more than 3 times as much as in 2010. What does this new wave of supply mean for Dubai's rents and house prices?
2010, we saw the peak number of deliveries coming onto the market, and in 2011 we're expecting about 25,000 units to be delivered. Now, while this is showing now that supply is starting to decrease a bit, it's still nevertheless quite a lot of units to come onto the market. This will have an impact again on rents and prices, particularly in the areas where the deliveries are occurring. We expect that in the areas where deliveries have occurred and the communities have now formed, the coastal areas, Emirates Living Area, JBR Marina, prices there will be stabilising during the course of this year. But in the new areas where we're seeing a lot of the new apartments coming on stream, we expect to see prices decline a bit. further into 2011, probably in the range of 5 to 15%.
Thanks for your time, Charles.
Thank you.
Abu Dhabi-based healthcare company New Medical Center raises $1.2 billion to fund its expansion. The company sold a 40% stake to local investment company Centurion Investment, making way for extra spending on health services across the MENA region. NMC is planning a 250-bed hospital in Abu Dhabi, a 100-bed unit in Dubai and in Al Ain, and is also looking to expand into Egypt, Libya, Qatar and India. Also, New Medical Center plans to build a medical training college in Abu Dhabi. Malaysia and the GCC states are looking to finalize the outline of a free trade agreement this quarter. The framework for future economic, commercial and investment interests has already been signed. Foreign direct investment from the GCC into Malaysia rose by 400% last year. That's according to the Malaysian Trade Minister. Meanwhile, the country's Prime Minister says the country has identified 131 projects over the next 10 years in a bid to attract direct foreign investments valued at around $444 billion. And in our fast financial news, Dubai Trade and Emirates Sky Cargo have signed a memorandum of understanding to allow Dubai Trade to cater to air freight services. The memorandum of understanding will allow users of the Dubai Trade web portal to access air freight services by Emirates Sky Cargo. This initiative will help the integration of sea and air cargo as well as the supply chain industry. The Etisalat Zain deal will now be completed by the end of February. That's according to officials close to the matter. Etisalat missed a deadline to finish its due diligence process of Zain earlier this month. Etisalat officials say the bid continues to make good progress and that both parties plan to reach an agreement as soon as possible by securing the necessary financing. Emirati tourists visiting the Seychelles surged 40% last year, helping the island record its highest number of tourists ever. This comes off the back of an increase in Emirates flights into the Indian Ocean Islands, as well as more holiday packages to the Seychelles. Technology expenditure in the region is set to grow 4 times faster than the wider economy. Also, Steve Mills, the CEO of IBM Software, said typically in Middle Eastern economies you will see at least 2 times the growth rate in the IT industry as in the West. Still, in the West, the amount of money spent for IT is higher as a proportion of the economy. And coming up later in the show, we find out about some of the financial issues being discussed at the World Economic Forum in Davos.